asking for your company. I've been with your understudy in the broken, beaten blocks of the city. I follow you today, where the children, they run and play. Kneeling on the street, kneeling by the sea. First next day, you walked with me. Our black eyes go out into the world. No doubt.
I think the dynamic between us has changed. We started out, we learned how to write songs together, how to sing harmonies. We just got our start together. We had a musical group called the Jayhawks, and that entailed a lot of other things besides Gary and myself sitting down and playing together.
People get it, really get it, but even when we play this bluegrass festival, it's like we don't quite fit in, but you know, we're not quite the pure bluegrass. Or we play a rock festival, we're not quite the rock thing, but we are who we are.
When we first tried to get gigs, they were in real rock and roll bars, and most of the bands were playing extremely loud and rocking out. And I think Gary and I were both the type of people who really weren't, just in our nature, we weren't more people that were going to shout above the music.
Let someone turn your pretty name around. You know, and let someone turn your pretty name around. Many times that I wonder about what's right for me to do. Stand out on my corner, hoping my streets will lead to you.
As time went on, I think we started getting more comfortable with writing our own songs and bringing them to each other, and kind of becoming sounding boards, editing each other, and really just kind of being the verifier in a way.
There's nothing like songwriting. It doesn't mean you can sit down and be a short story writer. Songwriting is completely different. It's its own thing.
I would have a song 75% done and he'd help me finish it, or vice versa. There's still within those songs, there's some that were half and half, some I barely did anything on, and some he barely did anything on, but it all balanced out.
Why don't you stay behind so love? Why don't you stop and look at what's going down?
Well, I have to say that Gary was very organized about saving old material that we had laid down on cassettes. And in the back of my mind, I knew there was some songs there, but he had them on the cassettes. So that led to reworking a few of the songs. And that's always fun, because when you come at something 10 years later, you've definitely improved, and it's definitely a new song, and it takes off in a different direction.
Talk to doves and stones about you, my true love. I'll never whisper love, the only words that lovers need to say. Alone, alone, I'll hide my time.
Well, we sat and learned the Louvin Brothers songs, a number of them. My Baby was a real fun one. We used to play at the 400 bar. And You're Learning, that was another good one. And I would hope that we could be in their league. You know, the Louvin brothers, the Everly brothers, Simon and Garfunkel. Well, you said them. That's the league. That's the goal.
I think the world needs a new Simon and Garfunkel, and you know, I love their stuff, and I love how powerful they were in such a quiet setting. I worked with great producers. I've been very lucky. We know what you do to make a record, so we didn't need somebody to just teach us exactly. What we really needed was to give ourselves confidence and to give us comfort level, and we really needed just an ear and somebody we could trust. Chris is just one of the top 3 audiophiles I guess I know. I mean, he knows old music, he knows new music, he knows traditional, he knows you know, Stockhausen or some experimental music and all that kind of stuff, and we trust him, and he would tell us whether the song sucked or not.
I remember it now. To me, a really good first line and the theme of the song is very important. What your point of view of the whole thing, where you're going with it, as far as what you're saying about the world around you.
Typically, I'd have a little melody and a guitar part, chord progression, maybe a little mumbling, and he would pull out the notebook and start writing lyrics. I like beautiful things that have depth and a bit of pain in them, because that's what life is really about. I think it's just, unless you're a 6-year-old, you kind of become aware of what goes on out there. And it's a bit of a battle, but it's also, you know, a beautiful battle. It's just so I think our music reflects life, our lives, and it's just not one thing or the other, it's both. But we tend to sing. I am drawn especially to beauty in melodies.
Place to live. Saturday morning on Sunday Street. How I long